This is Runeslayer in early March 2025, a game that accomplished what many other games could only hope for. On release, they had over 40,000 players average with very minor drops. Now, if ever in this situation, most game owners would just continue publishing good updates for the community with the same developers or add new developers or add some tweaks here and there. But when it's proven to work, the last thing you want is big, drastic changes. But not Runeslayer, because out of every big, drastic change you could possibly conjure up, they've gone through every single one of them. Out of the 40,000 average players, only 5,000 players play the game actively. The only thing left of the game now is bad reputation and very low player count. Runeslayer had a winning formula, but decided it wasn't enough. It is a mess around and founded of biblical proportions, and an announcement that initially felt like the most shocking and inexcusable add-on in Runeslayer history has somehow turned out to be a whole lot worse. What actually happened to Runeslayer? Runeslayer was a game that averaged over 30,000 players on release, which is really good for a new released game. It had a unique experience for new players on Roblox and different communities coming together to play this game. If you went on the main page, you'll see Runeslayer at about 40 to 50,000 players, which is quite crazy. Runeslayer looked like that game that could have cured your boredom. It was perfect. A lot of people loved it, and it was a game where it's basically based on PvE. The game was built for killing bosses and farming items. Everyone was enjoying the game until a couple of problems came up. Some of the problems being leveling after 30, horrible drop rates, and the damage of the mob, leaving most people enraged and unhappy about the game. Throughout the month, the player base dropped drastically, going down to only 4,000 players, hardly even averaging over 6,000. With a game with this much potential, a lot of developers, or if you are a developer, you would choose to update the game, right? Obviously, this is what John did. He updated the game, listening to his community without even communicating with the community. Because last time I checked, he only pinged 4 people chatting inside the general chat. Other than that, he has only been releasing updates without ever talking to anybody else. The only communication you get through this Discord server is through the community managers, and one of them is Zuko, which we'll get to later on as well. But basically, John is the person that updated the game, releasing a patch of a lot of bugs and also fixing the drop rates and lowering the damage of mobs and overall the HP of the mobs. The perfect update for a lot of players, right? But Runeslayer was lacking something: consistent updates. And this is where John ran into a problem. If he wants to keep his community alive and he wants people to play the game, he had to do something, which he did. However, later on, it was one of the worst decisions John could have ever made, which ended up causing the downfall of Runeslayer. What actually caused the downfall of Runeslayer? The problem I mentioned earlier wasn't fixed straight away. John and his developer team couldn't bring consistent updates to embrace to make players continue playing the game. Due to this, a lot of people started hating, and John decided to add Setro, which later on revealed to be his worst mistake. Setro wasn't just some kind of developer. He was the lead developer for Typeso. If you guys don't know, Typeso had a lot of backlash and bad reputation because of a lot of allegations against the developers. The biggest allegation was being a pedophile, grooming, which if you guys know, that is horrible. And Setro was just in the middle of it. So once Setro got perms inside the Discord server, he decided to make an announcement saying that he'll be working for Runeslayer and trying to publish good updates to the game, but at least good information, right? Well, the developer team didn't say anything, nor did John. It was just him and the community. After Setro was hired, things went quickly downhill. The Discord server was flooded with hate, including death threats against Setro, which forced the community managers to lock down the chat. To address the situation, a stage event was held where Setro talked about his plans for Runeslayer, including updates, balance changes, and a team he wanted to bring in. But the backlash was so intense that even the moderators didn't want to be involved. And just 2 days later, the Discord server was completely taken down after being raided by someone named Kata. All channels were deleted, and overall the chat was just bad. All of this happened within the 3 days of Setro's hiring, and the situation got so bad that he ended up stepping down the next day. After Setro stepped down, the Discord gradually calmed down, but the damage had already been done. The reputation of Runeslayer was completely shattered. The game would never ever be the same again. What was once a thriving community fell apart. Players lost interest, updates no longer generated any excitement, and the game's overall momentum collapsed. This rapid decline is one of the main reasons why Runeslayer is now currently sitting at the lowest player count ever. Most of the community now refers this game to the Setro Destroyer, which almost is unbelievable because this game was averaging 60,000 players, or even higher than that just a month ago, and plummeted to only 5,000 players, which is crazy in my opinion. But what's the main lesson to learn from this? If you ever want to be a developer, always research someone's history before making a major hire. One bad decision can change everything.